Democratic insiders are starting to panic about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s third-party presidential run, and they fear that he could act as a spoiler for President Biden that leads Donald Trump to being reelected. First of all, I don't buy that. This is, to me, if I look at the entire Bobby Kennedy story, it is the worst abuse of democracy I've ever seen in my life, the way that this guy's been handled. Now, full disclosure, he's a friend of mine. We've known each other a lot of years. We've tried cases together. I think he's a good candidate. But what's happening is you have all of these Democrat insiders who, rather than facing the facts and are saying the American public is tired of Biden, they're tired of Donald Trump. Kamala Harris scares the hell out of them. They can't see her as stepping into the role of president. They see all of this happening. The polls are overwhelming. The narratives are overwhelming. But nevertheless, they're doing these little, I call them the Democratic flying monkeys. This Michael Starr Hopkins, he's a Democratic operative and a political commentator. They have these flying monkeys all over the place. And MSNBC puts them on, CNN puts them on. And, you know, you would think by the time it's over with, as you're listening to his story, you'd think the guy's insane. He's anything but insane. He's a challenge right now. He's a serious challenge.
Well, see, what bugs me about stories like this is when you have all these Democratic strategists, because this, article from The Hill talks to multiple, and they all say the same thing, like, oh, we're so worried he's going to help Trump get elected. But okay, listen, that's a possibility, sure. But your anger, to me, is directed in the wrong spot. If you're mad that somebody could cost your guy the election, shouldn't you be mad at your guy? Shouldn't you be more concerned as to, hey, why is our guy losing support to this person? What can we do differently? I mean, you're a so-called strategist, so come up with a strategy to win the voters back. Yeah. And nobody ever wants to look at that side of it with the strategists.
Let's blame. Let's call names. It is a childlike mentality that you're seeing coming out of the Democratic Party right now. We'll see it soon with Republicans too. But it's this, the American public, the numbers, 70% of Americans are not satisfied with either Trump or Biden. When have we ever seen that? And nevertheless, you have, again, these flying monkeys that have all they know is Democratic politics. They started right out of college. They were a staffer, and then they moved. All they can think of is what I call headline news, headline thinking, and they pick up the headline thinking instead, and they ignore the realities taking place around them. I mean, I see the family coming out after his own family. Well, what's that about? Well, it's about that they want access. They're, the old Kennedy family. They've been around forever. They've been Democrat forever. And so it's this pass me down, okay? It's access to celebrity, to political celebrity, access to the big Democratic political parties. They feel like they're going to be on the outside rather than showing a little bit of character and standing up for their damn family, standing up for their own blood. Rather than doing that, their own brothers, their own cousins, rather than doing that, they fall into the same headline thinking. And that is, yes, Biden is our guy, and yes, Kamala Harris is just fine. She's going to make a great president when Biden kicks off. That's exactly the thinking.
Well, look, the family's been coming out, long before Bobby was running for president. They did their op-eds, they did their open letters saying we do not stand with him on this vaccine issue. And look, I don't either. And look,
so what? It's one issue, Farron.
Right, I get that. And look, I'm saying right now, if I have to vote between Biden and Bobby, I'm going Biden right now. Yeah. Bobby has not won me over. But here's the thing. There's a lot of people, both actually on the left and right, who say he's won me over. Mm-hmm. So if you're a strategist, you have to come up with a strategy to say, all right, where is my candidate failing? And that's what drives me crazy about both the strategists on the left and the right. None of them ever actually want to come up with a plan or come up with an idea.
Just criticize.
The stories we talk about every week with pharmaceutical prices out of control, housing prices out of control, homelessness, those are things, inflation, that Biden and his strategists should be meeting about and saying, okay, what's the plan? How do I address this? How can we move forward legislatively or executively to do these things and show the people that we mean business? You do that, and suddenly that 70% number isn't going to be 70% anymore, but they won't come up with solutions.
Well, and the worst thing about it is they interfere with the democratic process. Okay, so what's he having to do? He's having to go state the latest thing is We the People Party, that he has to come on as a dependent. He has to do that state by state. Well, New Hampshire only needs 3,000 signatures, so you can do that state by state. Some of the states require a lot more signatures, but their fear about a three-way race is real.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not real with Cornel West, although, I've had Cornel at my programs I do in Vegas. He's a great guy. He's a great thinker. Good candidate, actually, but maybe not this time. I don't know. There's plenty of places he fits in. But Bobby is a contender. I mean, whether you want to admit it, you're going to have these, again, we have flying monkeys that are commenting on our site. I don't really care. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me. We say what has to be said. And until the Democrats can say what has to be said, until the Republicans can say what has to be said, that we've got a lunatic. We are trying to get a lunatic, Trump, to run for president. Till they can do that and the Democrats can say we've got a bumbling old guy who runs into things and can barely finish a sentence, or with a vice president that has perfected word salad. Until they can get there, they can't analyze anything. It's just all headline thinking. This is the only way I know what to think. This is my tribalness on steroids.
And it's always blame everybody else for our shortcomings. Like, our candidate's not going to win because this guy jumps in. He has every right to run for president. Anybody that fits the criteria has a right to run for president if they want to.
That's right.
And you do not get to be angry if that happens.
And what you want to say is, why can't people carry on a conversation like you and I do? We've known each other for 25 years. I'm delighted you're saying, look, I'm all for Biden. Fine, that's your right to do it. And you talk and say, Pap, here's why I'm for Biden. It's not a screaming match. I'm not calling you names. You're not calling me names. It's a discussion.
Yeah.
But the damn Democrats and Republicans have become so tribal, they can't even have a discussion with friends where they're not yelling. I mean, we will get comments on this segment, I promise you. Why didn't you beat Pap Antonio down? And Pap, why didn't you beat Farron? Because it's called intelligent conversation. Right. And that has become a thing of the past. And the Bobby Kennedy discussion pretty well proves it.
Yep.
Farron, thanks for joining me, okay?
Thank you.
That's all for this week, but all these segments are going to be posted right here on this channel in the coming week, so make sure you subscribe. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where we tell you inside stories that corporate America media, they won't tell you because they're advertisers. They won't let them tell the story because the company that they might be talking about is paying for advertising, or their political connection is too Democrat or too Republican, and they don't want to make the folks, the insiders of those parties, mad at them. So we don't have, as you can tell from this show, we don't have that problem, nor will we ever have that problem. It's our brand. Hope we see you next time.